All right, let's dive into Think and Grow Rich today. A classic. We're going to be looking at chapter 1. And wow, this is where Napoleon Hill,
Yeah.
he just lays down the foundation for, his whole philosophy. I mean, it's right out the gate.
Ugh.
He starts off with these huge stories about like this guy who pretty much thought his way into becoming partners with Thomas Edison.
Oh, wow.
And then there's this gold prospector who gives up right before he strikes it rich.
Oh, no.
And then, get this, there's this little girl. She's got a lesson in persistence. It's pretty powerful.
Wow. So, like, I'm already hooked.
Yeah.
Like how Hill uses these stories to really grab you right from the start. It's not like he just starts with all this dry theory.
Right.
He just throws these, like, super interesting stories at you, and they illustrate the points.
Yeah, and they stay with you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with Edwin Barnes
Okay.
and his just like crazy obsession with working with Thomas Edison. I mean, like, most people would be totally thrilled just to work for the guy, right?
Yeah.
But Barnes, he was thinking bigger, like way bigger.
Oh, yeah. He wanted to be a partner.
Exactly, a partner. So what does that tell us about like ambition and goals?
Well, it's more than just wanting a job, right?
Yeah.
It's like Barnes, he had this laser focus. I mean, he wanted to be partners with Edison,
Right.
not just work for him.
Mm.
So it's like he saw himself as an equal,
Yeah.
not just some employee.
Right.
And this, like, self-belief, this audacity to aim so high. I mean, that's like a key theme throughout Hill's entire book.
And get this, Barnes, to get to Edison's lab, he hopped on a freight train.
Wow.
It's not exactly how you apply for a job,
No.
but he got noticed. Right.
Oh, yeah. He basically walked in and was like, hey, I'm here to be your partner.
Right. Like, let's do this.
Bold move.
So bold. And, Edison said later on that it wasn't how Barnes looked that impressed him, but come on, that had to be a part of it, right?
I mean, maybe a little bit. But you know what? It does tell us about the power of actually doing something, of taking action.
Yeah.
You're not just waiting around
Right.
for some opportunity to just magically
Yeah.
appear.
Yeah. You make it happen.
You got to create it.
But, it wasn't like instant success. I mean, Barnes, he started out doing these menial tasks for like almost no money.
Right.
Was that like a strategy? Or was there something, I don't know, deeper going on?
Well, he talks about being ready for when opportunity comes knocking.
Okay.
And Barnes, I mean, he put himself right there with Edison,
Yeah.
proving himself constantly. So when the time was right, he was ready.
Like he was attracting the right circumstances.
It's like that. It's like he was subconsciously drawing it all in.
And then that opportunity comes along, but it's not a partnership, right?
No.
It's the Edison dictating machine. And no one else saw the potential there.
But Barnes did.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah.
what are we missing out on because we're not ready?
That's a huge question. It makes you look at yourself and say, hey, am I really ready for this? Am I prepared to grab that opportunity when it comes? It might not be how we expect it,
Right.
right? It could come from anywhere.
All right. Get ready, because this next story, it's like a total roller coaster.
Okay.
Okay, we're talking about Are You Darby's uncle?
Okay.
This is the gold prospector I was talking about.
Right.
The one who quit just 3 feet from a fortune.
Oh, my goodness.
So frustrating. How could someone give up that close?
Oh, no. I know. It's so easy to judge, looking back.
Yeah.
But, think about it, right? They'd been working for weeks. It's exhausting, back-breaking labor. They were probably so disappointed.
Well-
Their gold feeder had probably cooled down by then.
Totally. So they sell all their equipment to a so-called junk man for like nothing. And of course what happens? The junk man, he brings in a mining engineer and boom,
They hit the mother lode.
just a few feet from where Darby and his uncle gave up. I mean, tragic doesn't even cut it.
It's heartbreaking. But you know what really stands out to me is the expert advice piece.
Hmm.
If Darby and his uncle had just talked to a mining engineer before giving up,
Right.
their whole life could be different.
Yeah.
It just shows how important it is to get advice.
Right. And guidance from people who actually know what they're doing.
Yeah, especially in the field you're pursuing.
And it makes you think about your own life, right?
Hmm.
Like, have I given up too soon on something? Are there 3 feet from gold moments in my past?
That's a sobering thought for sure.
Big time. And, Darby himself, he really took that lesson to heart.
He did.
He became successful in life insurance. He said his resilience, his stickability came from that experience. He learned the hard way,
He did.
that just because you have a setback doesn't mean it's over.
Doesn't mean it's the end.
All right, last story. And this one is it gets under my skin a little bit.
Oh.
It's the little girl and the 50 cents. This one takes place on Darby's uncle's farm, where sharecroppers lived. And, thinking about the time period, it makes you think.
It's a powerful story. I mean, it raises all these questions
Yeah.
about power, persistence, maybe even a little bit of manipulation, right?
Yeah.
But Hill, he uses it as an example of this, I don't know, strange power
Yeah.
that can come from just pure determination.
So this little girl, she walks into the mill. Darby and his uncle are working. She's so quiet. And she asks for 50 cents for her mom.
Mm.
And the uncle, he's a gruff guy. He's like, go on home. But she doesn't move.
Really?
It's like she's rooted to the spot.
Wow.
And that's when things start to get tense. She's defying him, but silently. And he's getting angry. He even threatens her, grabs a barrel stave. And Darby, you can tell he's scared.
Yeah, I bet.
So the uncle's about to strike. And the little girl, she takes a step towards him. And she yells, my mammy's got to have that 50 cents.
Oh, my gosh. What a gutsy move.
Seriously. I mean, this is a little girl standing up to a grown man. And back then, that could have ended really badly. It's like all of a sudden the power shifts. He's completely thrown off by her, puts down the stave, gives her the money. It's like her will just, disarmed him. And the little girl, without a word, she backs out of the mill, but she doesn't take her eyes off him.
Wow.
It just makes you wonder, what was it about her determination that made him back down?
It's something else. Hill, he doesn't really explain it, you know, but I think it's all about how strong her desire was, like so pure and urgent that it went beyond all the fear and, social rules of the time.
Right.
It's like sometimes the most powerful thing we have is that belief, that unshakable belief that our cause is right, even when it seems like everything's against us.
So powerful. But these stories, as different as they are, they all seem to point to this idea that thought shapes reality.
Mm-hmm.
But how much control do we really have over our thoughts, Can we just decide to have a burning desire for something? Like, is it that easy?
That's where Hill gets really interesting, right? He doesn't just say, think positive.
Right.
He lays out this whole system for cultivating desire, for turning a wish into an obsession.
Okay.
He says to write down your goals. Picture them super clearly. Even feel what it's like to have already achieved them.
That's a lot like what people call manifestation today, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Or the law of attraction.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool to see how these ideas, which are super popular now, were already there in Hill's work.
Yeah, Hill was ahead of his time.
And for sure.
He got the power of the subconscious mind.
Yeah.
And that our thoughts, they can really affect our reality. He even talks about autosuggestion, which is basically affirmations like we use today.
So it's not enough to just want something, right?
No.
Yeah.
You have to really cultivate that desire. It's like planting a seed,
Yeah.
And you nurture it until it grows into something strong.
You got to tend to it.
Yeah.
But just like a gardener, right? Mm-hmm. You got to get rid of the weeds.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Hill talks about getting rid of all the negativity and those beliefs that sabotage us. Fear, doubt, insecurity, those are the mental weeds.
They choke the life out of our dreams.
Exactly.
I've always struggled with self-doubt. Like there's this voice in my head that's like, you're not good enough, or what if you fail? How do you deal with that?
Hill says you got to challenge those thoughts.
Okay.
You ask yourself, is this even true? Like, what proof do I have? And a lot of times those negative thoughts, they come from fear or bad experiences. They're not based on reality.
So you become aware of them and then you replace them.
Yeah, with something positive.
With something better, yeah.
It's like retraining your brain.
Absolutely. And that's where affirmations come in.
Yeah.
And visualizations.
Okay.
You feed your mind those positive messages over and over again. You start to change your beliefs. And you create a more supportive, space for your dreams to grow.
Okay, so we've got the burning desire. We're getting rid of the negativity.
Yeah.
But what about taking action? Is it enough to just visualize? Or do we have to, actually do something? Hill's super clear about this. Action is key. He says, you got to have a plan.
Right.
A real definite plan.
Yeah.
You break your goals down into smaller steps, and then you consistently work towards them. He's even big on deadlines and being accountable.
And that's where people get stuck, right?
Oh, totally.
They have the desire, maybe even a plan, but then procrastination, or they feel overwhelmed.
Yeah. Hill, he was writing a while ago.
Yeah.
But his advice is still so relevant. He talks about beating procrastination, being disciplined.
Yeah.
building routines that help you reach your goals. It's kind of like those productivity hacks we see today.
Right. Like he's saying, don't just dream it, be it, take it out of your head and into the real world.
Exactly. And he reminds us that setbacks are going to happen.
Oh, for sure.
They're inevitable, but you can't see them as failures.
Right.
They're opportunities to learn and grow. Remember, Darby's uncle, if he had just kept going, seen that setback as a challenge, he would reach his goal.
It's a real cautionary tale.
It is.
But it also shows how important persistence is.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not just about being stubborn, right? It's about having that grit, that determination to keep pushing forward, even when things are tough.
It's about not giving up.
Yeah, Hill called it stickability,
Stickability.
like a muscle you can build with willpower.
Been thinking about the little girl in the mill. She was all about persistence.
She was.
She didn't say much, but she wouldn't give up.
Her story is a perfect example of persistence winning. She had no power, no authority, but she got that 50 cents. It's like pure willpower can move mountains.
So we've got burning desire, we're getting rid of negative thoughts, we're taking action, and we're being persistent. What else do we need for success?
Well, Hill believed in collaboration and mentorship. He had a whole chapter on the mastermind.
Mastermind.
Yeah, it's basically the idea of surrounding yourself with people who are like-minded, people who can support you, inspire you, challenge you to reach your goals.
Makes sense. We're not meant to do it all alone, are we?
No, not at all. Having people who believe in you, mentors, advisors, it can make all the difference.
It's like having your own personal board of directors. People who believe in your vision, and they're there to guide you.
And encourage you, keep you accountable.
Yeah, I've seen that in my own life. When I'm around positive, ambitious people, I feel like I can do anything.
Exactly. You're experiencing the power of the mastermind. The people we're with, they really affect us.
Big time.
Choose your mastermind wisely.
Okay, this is all coming together. We've got the burning desire, the positive mindset, the action plan. We're being persistent, and we've got the power of the mastermind. Anything else?
Now, this is where we get to the trickier parts of Hill's work. He talks about sex transmutation.
Oh, yeah, this one. It can be misunderstood.
Definitely. Can we break it down?
Without getting too,
Too spicy.
Yeah.
So, Hill's not saying to suppress sexual energy.
Okay.
It's about channeling that creative force
Right.
into other parts of your life, like your work, art, personal growth.
Yeah. So you're not denying your desires, you're redirecting them.
Exactly. Using that energy to fuel your goals.
It's powerful stuff.
Hill believed this transmutation could boost creativity, focus, drive.
Okay, so we've got desire, mindset, action, persistence, the mastermind, and this idea of sex transmutation. What else?
Hill was also big on the subconscious mind.
We touched on that earlier.
We did. He believed it was incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
And if you understand it, harness it, we can change our thoughts and actions to achieve our goals.
So it's not just about conscious effort.
No, it's about getting your subconscious on board with your desires.
Well, like self-fulfilling prophecies, right? If we believe we're going to fail, we probably will. Yeah. But if we believe we can achieve great things, we're more likely to take the right actions.
Exactly. Hill said that by understanding our subconscious, we can create a self-fulfilling prophecy for success. We feed it positive thoughts, we influence our actions, and we attract the right circumstances.
So we're programming our minds for success.
That's the idea.
But that takes a lot of self-awareness and discipline.
Oh, for sure. Hill emphasized guarding your mind against negativity and fear. You focus on the positive, the empowering thoughts. You become the gardener of your own mind.
Okay, we've covered a lot. Desire, mindset, action, persistence, the mastermind, sex transmutation, and the subconscious mind. Ready to wrap up chapter 1.
Almost. Hill talks about one more thing. It might be the most mysterious of them all.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
The sixth sense. Intuition.
Intuition.
He believed that if you develop your intuition, you access this higher level of wisdom, you can make better decisions, handle challenges better.
Okay, now this is getting a little mystical.
Yeah.
What do you mean by the sixth sense, like psychic powers or something?
Not exactly. Hill believed it's a way of knowing things
Okay.
beyond our rational mind, like a connection to, I don't know, a higher intelligence. It gives us insights we wouldn't normally have.
So trusting our gut, those aha moments where you just know something's right.
Yeah, those flashes of insight.
It makes me think of those entrepreneurs who made those big decisions based on gut feelings. They couldn't explain it logically, but they just knew.
Exactly. He'll believe those intuitive insights are super valuable.
Okay.
And if we work on our sixth sense, we can tap into that more often.
So how do we cultivate this sixth sense?
Hmm.
Is it something we're born with?
Hill thought everyone has the potential.
Okay.
He suggested things like meditation, visualization, spending time in nature, ways to quiet your mind and listen to that inner voice.
And paying attention to our dreams.
Yes. He thought they held valuable insights from our subconscious
It's like becoming more in tune with ourselves
and the world around us.
and learning to listen to those little whispers of intuition. We usually ignore them.
We do.
Hmm.
But Hill believed they could help us make better decisions, overcome obstacles, and be more successful.
This sixth sense idea adds a whole new layer to Hill's philosophy.
It does. It's not just about working hard, persistence, and positive thinking.
Yeah.
You also need to trust your intuition. Let that inner voice guide you to your purpose.
It's like he's saying you need a plan, you need to act, but also listen to that inner voice.
That's it.
So it's a balance, right? The rational and the intuitive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hill thought real success comes from aligning all of it. Your thoughts, beliefs, actions, and intuition, all working together.
So as we wrap up this look at Chapter 1, what's the main thing you want our listener to take away?
I want them to understand that success isn't some magical formula. It's not a secret for just a few people.
Right.
It's a journey. You discover yourself, you grow,
Yeah.
you use Hill's principles, but you also find your own path.
Right. Your own way to reach your potential and build a fulfilling life.
Exactly.
And it all starts with that burning desire.
That spark that ignites the fire within.
What do you really want?
What makes your heart sing? What impact do you want to make?
Once you know that, you can start building the mindset, the habits, the support system to achieve it. And remember the stories we talked about.
Wow.
Edwin Barnes, who dreamed of working with Edison. Darby's uncle, who taught us about persistence.
And the little girl.
The little girl with unwavering determination. Let their stories show you that you can be successful.
You have the potential.
But it takes more than just wishing. It takes that burning desire, a plan, and the belief that you can do it.
And as you go on your own journey, remember Hill's words. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve.
So true. So go for it. Embrace your dreams. Create a life that's rich in every way. Until next time, keep thinking, keep growing, and keep diving deep. It's like Hill's giving us this blueprint to build a success mindset.
Yeah.
But there's also this mysterious side, right? Like there's got to be more to it than just logic and willpower. This sixth sense thing, the subconscious mind, they're powerful, but we don't fully get them.
Right.
But Hill's saying they're super important to reach our goals.
Definitely. And I think that's why this book, it's more than just, typical self-help stuff. Hill isn't just giving us techniques. He's saying, hey, look inside yourself. There's this power, this wisdom you might not even know you have.
It's like he's saying, yeah, you got to have a plan, you got to take action, but also trust that inner voice.
Exactly. That inner voice can guide you.
Right, to your true purpose.
Yeah.
So finding that balance, right? The logical part and the intuitive part.
Right. The practical and the mystical almost. Hill thought true success comes from blending all of it together.
Your thoughts, beliefs, actions, intuition, all working in harmony. As we finish up on Chapter 1, what's the big takeaway you want our listener to have?
I want them to know that success, it's not some magic trick. It's not a secret that only a few people know.
Right.
It's a journey. It's about learning and growing.
Yeah, you said it.
You use Hill's ideas, but you also got to find your own way.
Your own path.
Your own way to be your best and create a life you truly love.
A fulfilling life.
Exactly.
And it starts with that fire inside.
The burning desire.
What do you truly want? What gets you excited?
What kind of mark do you want to leave on the world?
Once you know that, you can build the mindset, the habits, find the right people to support you, and then, make it happen.
And remember those stories.
Oh, yeah.
Edwin Barnes, going after that dream with Edison. Darby's uncle, showing us about persistence.
And that little girl.
Yeah, she was amazing.
They all show us we can be successful. We have the power within us.
It's there, but it takes more than wishes.
You gotta have that drive, the plan, and the belief that you can do it.
And as you go after your dreams, think about what Hill said. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve.
It's so true. So go for it. Embrace your dreams. Make your life amazing. Until next time, keep thinking, keep growing, and keep diving deep.